Shut up, Zach. Fat pig. I'm playing cool. What the hell?
Before I start this video, I want to tell you guys about Pro Guides. Pro Guides is an insane program that teaches you guys secret tips, tons of new metas, insane building and editing tricks, and all of these come from professional Fortnite players. Players like Mongrel, players like the Denver guy, all kinds of amazing players, personalized learning, personalized coach, personalized statistics, all made for you, and it's all for free. Hey, what's up guys, Beyond here, and for today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys 5 really simple and super effective high ground retakes. Now, I know a lot of you guys have seen a ton of videos like this, but the problem with those videos is that they show you guys a bunch of super hard high ground retakes that I'm sure most of you struggle with and ultimately give up on. These are high ground retakes that maybe only 1% of the Fortnite population can actually do without messing up consistently. Now, the ones I'm showing in this video are going to be very effective, very rare, meaning not many people do it, and very easy to do. So without further ado, let's get right into this video. The first one is going to be a trick that Snapsy showed me, so huge shout out to him. I'll have his channel link in the description. A lot of times when you guys are in a build fight and you're coning yourself on purpose or you get coned, but you guys will usually do something like this, or even you'll just simply do a side jump and continue to go up.
Okay, let's see what he says.
Or something that looks like this, or something that looks like this. Now, although these are great, there is one huge problem with them, and that problem is that you are super exposed when you're doing this. And what that means is the opponent has a very easy time shooting you while you're doing this. Because right before you get your ramps down, there's a moment where you're completely exposed to your opponent. And what Snapsy basically showed me was a way to avoid doing this. So you put a ramp right out over here, and you want to jump out and do the exact same motion that you normally would, but except place the ramp before you actually jump out. This will give you lots of protection, and it will make this move much more effective and much better against opponents that are better at the game. So one more time to show you guys, it's going to be a little something like this. I personally like to put that wall down because it gives you that protection from the front too, but that's all up to you guys. You don't have to, although I like to do it. Now guys, for the second trick in this video, I'm going to be showing you guys a pyramid jump that is pretty useful, and most people already do this, but I never see anyone use this for high ground retakes, and it's probably one of the easiest and one of the most effective ways that I use to get high ground on opponents. Now a lot of times when you are in those built-up scenarios, you get pyramided just like I said before, or you place a pyramid above you and you either edit through, or if you're double ramping up, which I'll show you here in a second and give you guys an actual example of what this is supposed to look like. If you guys are double ramping up, a lot of times you'll go like this, and you'll turn around and you'll do something like that. Now this is good, but the problem with it is that everyone expects it. What no one ever expects is for you to put a pyramid out here and then side jump and do something like this. Now what's cool about this is you can do it in multiple different directions. You don't just have to do it in that first direction that I showed you guys before. So if you're doing something like this, you can jump out to this side and go up. You can jump out straight in front and go up. Now just make sure that you don't do what I just did right there, which is jumping out way too early and timing it bad. And you can do this on pretty much any side. Now make sure you guys also aren't doing the one where you land on top of the pyramid, because if you do this, your back will be completely exposed and you can easily get shot. So make sure you're landing in between your ramps. And this really just takes a little bit of practice and timing. And this is super effective for high ground retakes, guys. It's super easy to do. Now, for tip number 3, I'm going to be showing you guys the pyramid ramp meta, which is something that I actually made up myself. And it's probably one of the coolest and literally rarest high ground retakes I've ever seen, because I made it and no one knows how to do it. No one really does this. So the way you do this is really just by putting a pyramid down, just like normal. And what you do is you edit the 2 tiles just like this, which is basically just like a ramp that's going backwards. Now after you've done this, what you want to do is you want to place a pyramid right on top of it. What this does is it blocks off 2 levels of ramping, which the opponent cannot use anymore. So let's say that you guys are ramping up, right? And you guys have an opponent that's tracking you pretty well, and they're right behind you. So you're double ramping up, right? And let's say they're like a whole level above you. As soon as they hit that pyramid, they're not going to be able to ramp up anymore. Now what you want to do right after you do this is you actually want to go ahead, and once you've done this, you want to jump out, and you want to go up like this and just do a 90, and you'll be right above them. So once again, to show you guys how this works, you edit like this, you go like that, you jump out, you do a quick 90, and you're 3 tiles above them. It's very fast, very useful, and by the time that your opponent figures out a way to get up there, you're already going to be at least 1 tile above them. And 2...
Been away for a long time, and now I want to take my dad to his happy place. That's going to be a real memory that I'll never forget.
Responsive enough to actually react to that. Now, some points that you want to keep in mind when you're doing this is that most of the time you're going to be double ramping. So I'm just doing this to show you guys the trick, but most of the time you guys are going to be going like this. So it's going to look a little bit like this. You're going to edit this, you're going to go like that, and then you're going to do a side jump out, and you're going to 90 up, and boom, you're going to go just like that. Now, for the 4th tip in this video, I'm going to be showing you guys a classic high ground retake, but with a really cool twist that makes it much better than before. So right now, the main thing that most people focus on when it comes to high ground retakes is closing off the angles for them to get shot. Now one really popular high ground retake that a lot of people use, including myself, is the Martaz high ground retake, where you go like this, and you can join 2 ramps, and then you do a 90, or you just come back. And this is also called the reverse 90, which is done like this. Now, although this is great, your opponent is behind you while you're double ramping, and they're really doing a good job of tracking you. It's going to be pretty much impossible for you guys to do this without getting shot.
Why can't I do this now?
What I'm about to show you. So how you guys want to do this trick is by starting up by double ramping up just like this, and you place a pyramid just like the Martaz, but then what you do here is you put 2 pyramids just like that, and then you take 2 walls, conjoin them, and put a ramp. Once you've done this, you edit this out, and then you go straight up, and you can start doing 90s. And the best part about this, once again, is that you're absolutely clear of getting shot at, and you're not exposed for a single second while you're doing this high ground retake. So you're doing this.
It's just not doing it for me.
You're putting 2 pyramids first, and then you're doing this and jumping out. For the final trick in this video,
And it doesn't
I'm
place.
going to be showing you guys a 90 that is actually better than almost any high ground retake I can show you guys, just because of how simple and effective it is. Now, most of the time when you guys are in a build fight, right, and let's say you guys are double ramping up or whatever, and your opponent's tracking you and you're trying to get your high ground back, so what happens most of the time is you guys will go ahead and, you know, whatever, you guys won't do that, right? But let's say you guys are just doing the double ramp up and you're doing a 90. The problem with this, you guys see how you're exposed here? You're definitely going to get shot by the player, and it's not just because you're exposed. It's because the 90 that you're doing is actually too slow and not good enough anymore. The new 90 that is
Hey.
Mm.
Trying to go to the King's soon. Burgers.
Yeah. What time?
I'm gonna leave it at 5 to 5.
actually the fastest 90. It's so fast that it usually provides you guys with great protection without even having to put any builds in your opponent. I've used this against many good players in 1v1s, and it's worked on almost every single one, but not because of anything that I do like this, but just because of how fast it is and how hard it makes it for your opponent to shoot you. The way this 90 works is you want to go like this. Actually, I did that wrong. Give me a second, guys. What you have to do is you want to go ahead and start off by doing one of these 90s and then doing a normal 90. This is super fast if you do it quickly, and it's much better than the basic 90 because the motion that you're doing is quicker since you don't have to do that extra rotation to this side. You're simply just going straight up, down, and then to the right. And this provides so much protection because of how quickly you're doing it. So for example, let's say that you guys are double ramping up this way and you have an opponent right behind you over here, right? This guy's going to be trying to shoot you and he's going to be trying to take you out. Let's say he's even a level above you. Most of the time, if they're behind you, they're not going to be directly above you like that. But this 90 is so quick that they won't have a chance to react to shoot you. And that's because you're not doing this whole motion. All you're doing is you're going straight up, down, and then you're doing a 90. And that 90 is going to protect you with it's going to give you the coverage that you need. So once again, to show you, it's going to look like that. And it's much faster than the basic 90, which looks like this. It's going to give you the coverage that you need. So once again, to show you, it's going to look like that. And it's much faster than the basic 90, which looks like all you're doing is you're going straight up, down, and then you're doing a 90. And that 90 is going to protect you with it's going to give you the coverage that you need. So once again, to show you, it's going to look like that. And it's much faster than the basic 90, which looks like this. Going up, down, and you're going up, down, and then basic 90 up. And with that one, guys, that is going to be all of the high ground retakes I'm going to show you guys in this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you guys appreciated the uniqueness of it, because I really try to make videos that are different And as you guys probably saw in this video, a lot of the high ground stuff that I showed you guys was super different than most people. You know, they're not the basic things that you see, like, you know, what I'm showing you right here, or it's not some weird, you know, crazy, like, put a pyramid, do this, come up, and the pyramid, blah, 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 you know, do all this stuff. I try to make it simple and easy so that all of you guys can do it. And I also try to make it things that are never done so that they're easy, so that they're effective against even the best of opponents. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and be sure to leave a like and comment. And if you guys watched this video till the end and you learned all the tricks in the video, comment GUP, G-U-E-P, G-U-P, just like I'm showing on the screen right now. And it'll let me know that you guys watched it till the end, and I'll appreciate that greatly. So yeah guys, thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope to see you guys in the next one.
Following the 6 intense competitive matches at the iconic Arthur Ashe Stadium, the Fortnite community has finally crowned its first ever Solos World Cup champion. Bugha, the player who many honestly didn't think would win, has taken home the trophy. Safe to say, he's set for life. I mean, I'd even take the participation prize of $100,000. So 100 of the best players worldwide took part in this enormous event, only to be stomped by Bugha. And the craziest part about it is that he didn't just win, he dominated. He had a lead of over 25 points, meaning even if he didn't participate in that last game, he still would have won. Many of our favorite pros like Dubs, Mongrel, Stompy, and Clicks didn't even appear on the top 10 list. Many pro players that we spent all our time watching have failed us. This is a huge shock to millions of players out there. It seems like Fortnite's veterans may be losing their touch and making way for new, younger talent. The average age of the Fortnite World Cup participants was 16 years old, but don't take my word for it. Just check out the leaderboards after the World Cup concluded. Click here. In fact, it looks to me as if most of our favorite pros didn't even make top 10. So what exactly helped Bugha perform so phenomenally? What was going on there? With millions on the line, it seemed that a lot of the qualifiers who were once hitting 100+ points each week were letting nerves get to them. Second place only had 33 points, way behind Bugha. But let's not discredit Bugha's skills here. Take a look at Bugha's teammate, Aspect. He tweeted this, here. I forgot how to aim until the last game, but Bugha is nuts. That tells us something. If Aspect, a Sentinels pro player who consistently placed top 20 every week of the qualifiers, was panicking, imagine everybody else. I mean, Clicks, Tfue, The Goat, Dubs, and Bizzle? Where are these guys? All the legends everybody thought would at least make top 5 are nowhere to be seen. So now we come down to Bugha. How did Bugha do it? What made the 16-year-old savage so consistent throughout all the World Cup games? In order to get an answer, we've compiled all of his insane pop-offs so you can see why exactly Bugha is so masterful at Fortnite. Bugha makes an excellent push. In a 20-man circle, he decides to take a side angle. Bugha is quick to claim an elimination point and then walls himself off. After regaining some loot, another challenger arrives, but instead of taking this fight, Bugha holds off. He notices he's very close to the top 10 placement points and doesn't want to mess that up. Bugha waits patiently and plans out his next move. This is going to be the deciding factor. In a fierce lobby like this, Bugha can't risk anything. Only 6 games to play tends to force a lot of people on edge. A few milliseconds could be the cause of life and death. Bugha has a fantastic loadout. He rotates the zone using his shadow bombs. One unique point I noticed is that Bugha is always careful to secure placement points. He plays for the end game and takes kills as they come. Bugha is looking for the right opportunity. Another fantastic habit Bugha seems to have is that he likes to rotate early and from side angles. This is a very advantageous way to rotate because you can only get shot at from 2 angles. You have the storm and then the exposed angles, making it easier to avoid incoming damage. Most players won't take storm damage to rotate inward. The few that do, well, Bugha will be ready for them. At this point in the game, the loadout Bugha's rocking is spectacular. Not only does he have the materials needed to win, but his weapon setup is great too. Bugha follows up with his shadow bomb to avoid any type of confrontation, hoping for more players to die out. Notice Bugha isn't looking for any kills here. He's patiently waiting for more players to die out. After he gets to the bottom, he pre-aims a perfect ADS shot and follows up with a building. Then he follows up with another pre-aimed shot, and yep, that's bye-bye to our buddy Clicks. Let's take a look at positioning for a moment. Bugha is in the top 5 and is on ultimate low ground. What is he gonna do? Let's find out. Bugha is quick to use his final shadow bomb, hoping for even more players to die out. But wait a minute, he sees the perfect opportunity for a kill. He gets a 200 IQ angle on his opponent and takes him out with 2 lethal shots. That's what I call Kovacs out of my mind. After claiming the elimination points, you'd expect a break, right? Not exactly. Another opponent jumps out of nowhere. It's Psalm. Bugha doesn't panic, he doesn't choke. He takes the dogfight and is rewarded when he takes out Psalm. Now the moment you've all been waiting for. the 1 versus 1. Booga knows the enemy has high ground, but he's got something better, the mighty impulse grenades. Every pro player's worst nightmare. Free height and destructive power combined into one tiny grenade are all Booga needs to win. He goes for the play by timing the grenade beneath him. After claiming height, he's able to tag the enemy. Now he knows CurryL is low health, so Booga's killer instincts take over, and he uses keen game sense to fish CurryL out. CurryL does a foolish edit, allowing Booga to tag him on the feet, claiming that victory. I love how hyped up he is after this win. Now, what exactly did we learn in this clip? I think Sundown knows it best. Let's listen in.
Let's take a look into some of his eliminations and how he's been able to build himself a 15-point lead over the best of the best in the world. And he's doing it by intelligent rotation, getting to the far side of the zone, and then hitting
Up north, boys.
shots.
Thanks for watching. There should be a video soon of my progression for claw. So have a good one, everyone.